I think there is no question that the kindest and most generous people in this world are literally the most underappreciated, overlooked, and taken for granted individuals. And the brutal reality is, it is no one's fault, as that is just how human nature is. When something is easily available, gifted, and convenient, human beings will undoubtedly show much less consideration for it, as they don't have to put in any effort to earn it. Kinda like getting complimented every day without having to take a single step. It's going to eventually feel cheap and banal. And I know kindness is heavily associated with a lot of moralistic and religious narratives, and that it should be taken seriously or with a grateful and generous heart every time we receive it. But human nature is human nature, and quite a big part of it is going to disappoint a lot of people, especially those with high expectations. And speaking of high expectations, this is what caused a lot of people becoming embittered after their quote-unquote kindness are unreciprocated. A lot of people nowadays tend to take their gestures of kindness quite literally, but let's be honest, most of them, behind their empathetic or sympathetic conducts, there is a hidden motive that they are pursuing and are expecting to receive after they've done their share of quote-unquote good deeds. They expect to be fairly or generously rewarded or receive some form of validation and approval from those who they've lent their assistance to. They expect those people to feel naturally, or worse, eternally indebted to them. But this mindset will only lead to vindictive intentions, as if their hidden agendas aren't met, they will be significantly embittered and will start to despise those whom they've helped, ironically turning against their own so-called kindness. Now, I don't have to tell any of you that this is not what you'd call genuine kindness. It's what you'd call being a malicious idiot. Maybe someone told them to quote-unquote treat others the way you want to be treated, and it puts them in this rather incomplete and misunderstood narrative whereby they would think that if I lick another person's ass, they will also be incentivized to lick my ass as well, or even suck my cock. This karmic narrative with regards to kindness is probably the most overly glorified and highlighted part about kindness that make people develop this fateful idea that it is guaranteed that your kindness will be repaid eventually. Karma is very unreliable and uncertain, and I don't think anyone should put all of their belief eggs in that basket. Here is the thing that you need to know and understand well. If we take a look at the basic mechanic of kindness, it is all about sacrifice and giving to those who genuinely need assistance. Regardless if it's effort, time, or money, you will lose something material or immaterial in your possession when you decide to act on kindness. In other words, kindness is expected to be free of charge and unobligated to be repaid. So to expect to be paid your due after you willingly help someone, it's like giving away cookies for free and then demanding to be paid even though there is a sign that says giving away free cookies. Or it's like volunteering to drive your drunk friends all home and then expecting to be treated a nice lunch even though you've quote-unquote volunteered out of your own free will and you're not obligated nor employed to do what you did. It's completely irrational. How one person measures the worth or value of the kindness they received mainly depends on the narrative of that person's internal values and principles towards kindness. It's not always about how critical or significant the moment is when they receive that kindness, nor is it about how long they have constantly received it. Now at this point, some of you might ask, so why be kind then if we're only going to lose in the end? Why don't we just be eternally selfish and treat people like shit and take everything from them so that we'd win every single time? That type of question or statement can only come from those whose gestures of goodwill have been taken advantage of way too many times because they don't have a spine to keep their dignity straight and strong. That is why you are heavily punished for letting people dishonor you. Here is the thing you need to know. There is a fine line between being kind and being a people pleaser. If people took your kindness for granted and start to abuse it to the point where it starts to damage other valuable things in your life, then it is time to stop and stand up for yourself. If you continue to try to persistently change their unappreciativeness through overwhelming them with favors after favors to make them realize their mistakes, you'll quickly find out that it will only make them even more abusive towards you. Why? Because you keep rewarding their bad behaviors. It's like continuing to give your dog free treats every time after it bites you. Cease all assistance, reclaim your dignity, and stop overly investing yourself to those who don't need help or who don't deserve help. Then they might wonder why the favors stopped coming. Kindness is a choice after all, so make the definitive choice to stop sacrificing for those who start to purposefully and frequently exploit your resources. Normally, if the kindness we give will make us lose something, then it is a loss that we've known and decided we must bear. But a lot of people measure the amount of kindness they give through the potential reciprocation they're going to receive in the future. And that type of people only shows up when the moment is convenient for them or when there are many eyes to witness their facade in order to improve their reputation. Kindness is not a business like in the world of the Italian mob. That's debt masked in the form of favor. Instead, it's a gesture of honorability that aligns with an individual's values, principles, and character, and let's be honest, also involves our natural instinct as empathetic and social beings. Genuine kindness is often demonstrated in the background, where there are no eyes and ears to witness, as it is an imminent gesture of compassion without any consideration of, what's in it for me? Or, what do I get out of this? That is why only those who knows and understand what genuine kindness is are those that are able to genuinely appreciate kindness and has the possibility to be inclined or incentivized to reciprocate them. But it is not something that we should expect nor demand from others whom we've lent our helping hands to. We do it out of our own goodwill and to maintain the integrity of our principles, values, and beliefs. And most of all, to demonstrate who we really are as a person and what we're made of. Never expect anything in return from anyone whom you've done favors for. Unrealistic expectations and overly hopeful aspirations are the root of most modern misery. Because most of the time, you do not know and will never fully know what's truly inside someone's head or someone's heart. So never try to expect that people can or will behave exactly the way you want them to behave. Because eventually, you will be sorely disappointed both in their lack of acknowledgement, but mainly in your own short-sightedness. Thank you for watching.